This video is for anybody that was thinking about getting into web design as a business because they want to work remotely, but is looking at what's happening with AI and is thinking, it's too late, I've got to find something else. I'm Alex, I've been building websites for about 10 years and I've been making all of the money that's let me travel to like 26 different places. I've made that all through web design and through various forms of digital marketing. Recently, I stopped building websites with WordPress and I started building them all with AI tools, okay? And I spent 6 months thinking, I've got to change what I'm doing because AI is about to make web design irrelevant, okay? But using these tools, so I'm talking about Cursor AI, which you've probably heard of, and vo.dev. Using these tools, it's completely changed my doom thoughts about web design. And I now think, actually, we're about to enter a golden age of web design. And I'm going to relate this now to what happened when you had page builders like WordPress and Wix come out, and what that did to web design. If you're an agency or you're a freelance web designer, before Wix and before WordPress, you were making websites with code, HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. CSS is the style, HTML is the structure, and JavaScript is the language which people use in order to get functionality to work. So what happens if I click this button? Does the page change, etc.? Right? Well, when that was the case, when the only way you could build websites was with HTML, JavaScript, and CSS, and other languages, the average business owner did not know how to make a website. And so when they came to you as a web designer, it's basically, this is my vision, and then you as the web designer translated that into code. Then, tools and companies such as Wix. Wix is a page builder, if you don't know, it's one of the biggest. It used to be really bad, now it is very good. The pages are fast, the design is easy, it's got all of your marketing in there, you can send emails through it. It is a suite of tools that previously a business owner would have paid thousands and thousands of pounds for, or dollars, wherever you are, but it was in the thousands that the business owner would have paid this money. And then a page builder like Wix comes out, and suddenly a business owner that has a couple of days can put together a decent website for their business that's very closely matched with the vision that they had. And so instead of spending £4,000 or £5,000 on a website, then what happens to the price with a tool like Wix is that the majority of websites that then get built by the average business owner, the price comes down. Because instead of thinking about code, the business owner is now comparing your average website designer with the average website they can build on Wix. Okay? So when a new tool comes out, if it was isolated to just the same number of business owners needing a website, and a new tool comes out, the price falls, right? Because supply of websites increases and demand stays the same. That's economics 101, supply and demand. But what actually happens when a tool like Wix comes out is, yes, a lot of business owners say, well, I'm not going to pay you £4,000 or £5,000 for this average business website because Wix, I can build it in 2 days. Maximum I'll give you is £2,000 to do this because I'm making £1,000 a day, and if I spend 2 days building this, I lose £2,000. So I would rather make £2,000 and give you £2,000, right? But a tool like Wix means that a website is accessible to more people, more business owners, more small business owners say, oh yeah, we could have a website now. So the demand for websites when the tools get easier actually increases. And so the price of certain websites changes. The price of very, very simple websites changes. If you no longer have to code, but you can build it on Wix, the price is going to fall, right? There's less of a learning curve. It's drag and drop. But there's still a demand. And in fact, the demand increases because it's more accessible to more business owners. The absolute same thing is happening with these AI tools. And let me explain why. There's about a 2-year gap now, I think, maybe a year minimum, when the business owners that need a website, are going to be still paying website designers to build their websites. And I'm not talking about your very well written copywriting websites that really sell and use language which is very persuasive and is set up in the proper way. I'm talking about your bog standard slap it up website, right? There's still a gap now between when the average business owner can slap a website up in 5 minutes using an AI tool. There's still about a year left. GoDaddy has just released an AI tool. I've used it, it's okay. The average business owner that doesn't want to pay you $1,000 for a website is gonna go onto one of those tools and use that. But there's still business owners now that either don't know about these AI tools, view the internet and view websites and technology in general as this hard to reach wall, or they just don't have the time. And so what's actually happened now is with tools like Cursor and tools like vo.dev, the time it takes to build an averagely decent website has just decreased by about 50x. Before, it could take you a week to put together a good website. Now with these AI tools, if you do it in the right way, you can do it in an hour. I'll put a video on this channel of me building a very decent website in less than an hour. And so what does this mean? It means that business owners still view building a website as a chore, but the cost of building a website for you, the marketer, has fallen 50x. And so the gap, the value gap, has just massively increased. And this is going to change. So the price the business owner is prepared to pay, a year ago, the effort it required for you to build that website is here, and the value gap is this small thing in the middle. Now, the cost of building the website for you, the gap has increased to here. So now the value gap is this big, relatively to what it was before. But over time now, in the next year or two, with more and more tools coming out, AI tools for business owners, where a plumber will be able to go on and with one sentence build themselves a plumbing website, this business owner, the price they're prepared to pay is going to be slowly decreasing. But there's still a market for website building. And so for 6 months, I thought about changing what I was doing. But just seeing the cost fall like this has massively increased my belief in how valuable doing this as the way to work remotely is. There's business owners all over the world. It doesn't matter where you travel to, which hotel you stay in, which resort you go to, which surf school that you look at. Every single one of those businesses needs a website, and the cost of building it has just decreased 50 times if you know what you're doing with these tools. And I don't think ever the price or the value, the expected value that these business owners are thinking a website costs, I don't think that's ever going to meet the cost the cost to make the website. And so I think building websites as your way of making money for while you're traveling, I think it's actually never been better, because you've got every business owner knows they need a website. Most of them already have a website, and if you know how good you can build them, if you see a business owner with a website and you know, oh, I can build a better website than this, then they already know the value of a website. You don't have to convince them. You don't have to convince a business owner that doesn't have a website that they need one. Yeah, there's very few without a website. It's never been this good to do remote website design. Just on my laptop, in an hour, I can build a website that would have previously taken me a week. A week! I could build 5 in a day before I get too tired to do it. Right? And that's just website design. Because if you become trusted with the business owner, what else do they need? A business owner that wants a website also might need advertising. They might need social media. They might want to do newsletters. They might want to send emails. And so you've got all of these add-on services which can become monthly recurring revenue, which is how you get up to the higher levels of monthly income with web design. It's not just build one website for this one client and go out and find another website client to do. Like, sure, you can do that, but you're constantly having to find new clients to do it. Whereas if you build a relationship with a business owner, you do a great job building their website, and then you talk to them about advertising on Google Ads, Facebook Ads, TikTok Shop, Facebook shoppable videos, social media posts, sending newsletters out, setting up Klaviyo, email, putting all the pixels on the website, setting up Google Tag Manager, Google My Business Profile, where are your reviews? You know, it's really endless, the digital marketing space. And if you look on the bus or you look on a train, what is everybody doing? They're like this on their phones. So it's endless. And because the cost has fallen, if you know how to use these tools, the value gap has just massively increased. In fact, I would say that when Wix comes out, or when Wix came out and got very good, and all these other page builders like Squarespace, WordPress, a couple of other ones like CARRD.co, the actual value gap decreased because it didn't get any faster for you to build it, but the perception of the business owner of how much a website should cost fell, so the gap got smaller. Now, with the AI tools, the gap has got bigger, but the business owners aren't spending the time to learn the AI tools, yeah? Not the good ones like Cursor, and not the good ones like VO.dev, because they're not going to spend the time to learn JavaScript and Node.js and Next.js, which are frameworks and like specific languages that these AI tools are using. They're not going to learn that. Like, to actually spend the 3 months it takes to learn those properly, they're not gonna spend that time. It costs them too much money. And so until the tools like GoDaddy's one-line website builder become the norm and the expected value and the expected way to build a website, the value gap makes web design now a very good thing to be able to do. Digital marketing in general, especially if you want to work remotely. I'm in Alicante right now, and I can still work here on my laptop. Clients back in England, any business owner that I meet here, I can get chatting to them, other travelers that have got projects going on. It's endless. Yeah, it's a great time to be in web design.